ShinRobjira.
Hello, my sharp and snippy friend. Are you ready for the snipping? Snipping's the tail. Snipping's on the chest. And now on feet. You're mine. And as per usual, here's the box without the figure in it. Let me affix the camera. Little plastic shell over here. More of the same. These things. Oh, God, I hate these things. And, yeah. This, okay, yeah, that's going to have to be cut. And on the back, we have Destroya, Space Godzilla, Shin Godzilla, and Gigan. I like how they're just calling this Godzilla. It's like, come on. He has an identity other than just Godzilla. Oh! So upon getting this thing out of his shipping box and out of the box for the very first time, I was surprised. Surprised at the fact that everything people had been saying about this figure up until this very moment was exactly true. This is Playmates' best Godzilla figure from the Godzilla Classics line. That's not to say that it's perfect, mind you. No, not at all. But right away, you can already tell that the detail on this thing is exquisite. It's insane how much detail was pulled over from the original mold, whatever mold this may be based on, and is actually here on the figure with this cheap plastic. It looks really, really good. It's surprising. Now, I mentioned the figure not being perfect, and, you know, one of those reasons being is just that there really isn't any metallic blue on this figure. You got a little bit on the neck, a little bit on the titties. You really don't get enough of it, and I had that same problem with the Bandai Movie Monster Series version of this figure, but for the most part, he still looks pretty good. You know, they got the silver for the kneecaps and the feet all done up very well. And again, the detail on this is fantastic. And much to my surprise, there's even detail on the bottom of the tail. Like, I wasn't expecting that at all. I also wasn't expecting the fact that they actually put the silver on Gigan's tail over here. They did, and it looks pretty dang awesome. The spikes on top of the tail, not that great. But looking at the legs over here, the spikes on the back of his calves, on the back of his foot, they're all painted. Something that the Bandai Movie Monster Series version didn't do. This detail is awesome. So taking another look at the tail and the legs and everything, again, detail. I have to keep screaming to the heavens about this detail because this is the best looking Godzilla Classic Series line figure. I swear to God, Playmates, this is it. This is the chalice from which we drink, the drink of hope. Because there is clearly a lot of hope going on here with this figure. Just look at all this fantastic detail. Even the tip of Gigan's tail has some really nice detail. Sure, it's just a bunch of blades and it looks, you know, kind of Shadow the Edgelordy.
Damn, fourth Chaos Emerald.
But even the little part that connects it to the tail over here, even that's got some fantastic detail. It was a little, that's a little bit lost to, you know, the poor quality and everything. But still, it's there. You can see it. It's a thing. And again, look at this. Look at the paint on the bottom of the tail. Look at that. Who thought that would exist on a Playmates figure? Not I. Then, you know, we're going to take a look at the sails over here on Gigan's back. The metallic blue is present on the top row and on Gigan's back, but it's not present throughout the rest of the sails, and I really do wish they were painted just like the top point was. I do think these sails would have looked a lot better with all of that being painted, but that's not to detract from the fact that there is some nice wrinkle detail in there. It looks nice. Again, do just think the presence of that metallic blue would have made this look a lot better. And, you know, maybe a little bit of shading thrown in there for good measure. Interestingly enough, if you look at Gigan's back, right between the sails over here, you pull them to the side, you can see that there is that metallic blue on Gigan's back. So, Playmates, this thing ever goes back into production, just paint these little spiky stems and everything, please. Look, oh, so good. Speaking of, oh, so good. We got Gigan's head over here. Again, fantastic detail. Do wish it had the metallic blue on top of it, but for the most part, it be looking really nice. You can see the bolts on the side of Gigan's head. You got the spikes and stuff. That's one thing about this figure that I don't like. I don't like how the spikes look the way they do. I think they look better on the Bandai Movie Monster Series version. I keep talking about that figure. Don't worry, we'll go through with the actual comparison soon. But other than that, I do think Gigan's head looks really, really awesome. And you know, you got the direct look at Gigan over here, and the spikes on on the side of his face are accurate to what it looked like in the movie. The eye is painted very nicely. The jewel gun acne on Gigan's forehead looks awesome. It captures the essence of Final Wars Gigan very, very nicely. Who the heck thought I'd ever say that? And Excelsior, look at this. There's individually sculpted teeth in Final Wars Gigan's mouth. Holy crap. Playmates? Oh, you silly boy! Where was all this for your other Godzilla figures, man? This really is the first coming of the Playmates Christ for the Godzilla line here. Now, oh man. But no, the teeth really do look very nice. I like how the mandibles on the side of Gigan's mouth looks. His beak looks awesome. This is just an awesome looking figure. Moving on to the bladed arm over here. It looks like the Final Wars bladed arm. I mean, what else can you say? Again, the detail is fantastic. It is on point. It matches up with that of the Bandai Movie Monster series release. And even the other arm looks nice. You can see on the bottom of it. That's probably the only positive thing I have to say about that arm. But it looks good. You can see the detail. I mean, yeah, it's a little blank in some areas, but it is future tech and everything, and most future tech is very minimalist, so again, it looks good. Looks good on the other side too. I mean, there is a bit of an ugly seam going on there. You know, that is what it is, but for the most part, looks good. I am so excited. I really hope the next wave of Playmates releases look like this. I really do. But anyway, before we get into articulation, let us talk about the comparison. And it's gonna be interesting. Here we are. Bandai versus Playmates. Now, I'm gonna just come right out and say it. I definitely think the Bandai version is better in terms of paint and sculpt. For the most part, it is clearly the more vibrant Gigan figure of the two. And I do prefer the more basic stance that's going on here, i.e. the attention stance. Arms are pretty much bent in the same way. And I don't know, I prefer the vibrancy of this. But as you can all probably tell, these are two entirely different sculpts. These are two entirely different versions of Final Wars Gigan. So it's more so just going to be how they were painted. We're really not going to get into much else because unlike other Playmate comparison videos that I've done, I don't actually own the mold that this is based off of. I don't even know the mold this is based off of. I've seen some people saying that it might be the 8-inch Bandai Gigan, but I really can't tell. And I really can't find a Gigan figure whose arm is like this. Anyway, one thing I will give the Playmates version right now is just that the mandibles on the side of the head, as I said before, are accurate to what it looked like in the movie. Final Wars Boy over here isn't. It's almost like they forgot to cut out this centerpiece over here to make them, you know, spiky. So there's one thing for the Playmates version. Another thing that the Playmates version has that the Bandai version does not are painted elbow pointies. Spikes, there we go. Detailed, not detailed, but painted. As stated before, painted spike, no painted spike. Painted spike, no painted spike. Not painted tail and small claw, painted tail and big claw. Accurate claw. Dr. Claw. To even out the playing field, like I said before, I absolutely hate this. I don't like it. I don't like how they're sculpted, but just molded into one piece. I do prefer the Bandai Movie Monster series version. They are thicker. I personally think that they look better, but they are kind of in the same vein as this one little flimsy piece. But these are gray. These aren't. Ooh. I do like that they are separated for the head articulation, which I really do wish Playmates would have just done this for their Final Wars Gigan instead of, oh, we'll get to that actually. Zip, zop, zoobity bop. All right, and one of the many elephants in the room is the sails. Now, I really do love the Bandai Movie Monster series version sails. I don't like, however, how these aren't fully painted blue. I mean, we got a little bit over there, but that might not even count, essentially. But I like how blood red and glossy these look, and I do like that the tips of these are all painted metallic blue. But I get the sense that Bandai probably just spray painted the red on afterwards. Even then, I still do think this looks better. Gonna have to use the explorative flashlight feature here, but as you can see, the entirety of Gigan's back is metallic blue, purple, violety. Same on the other side. but as you can see, this spray and dye feature of the redness of the sail really does carry out the entire way through. So even though I wouldn't necessarily call this uniform, I would absolutely say that this is better than that. Another thing that the Bandai version does better is just the existence of the metallic blue. Me personally, as I said earlier, Final Wars Gigan, he's decked out in the metallic blue. I like that, and I really do hate that that is something that is skipped out upon when making a new Final Wars Gigan figure. Through these ups and downs of what figure does what better, Playmates' version does a lot correct. It does a lot right, but it needed more of that metallic blue. It really did, both on the sails and on Gigan's body. Plus, just look at the way those sails sparkle. One does more than the other. One has more of what I like than the other. They're both really great figures. They really, really are. At the end of the day, when it comes to Final Wars Gigan, it's just paint. At least right now. Because you know what's gonna happen now, everybody? We're moving into articulation. So, you think you got multiple points of articulation, do you? Well, you do, but let's just get started. The obvious thing that I've talked about multiple times with Playmates figures, I hate the predetermined stance legs. I hate the whole one leg forward, one leg back. I really do hate that. I really wish Playmates would just do what Bandai's been doing all of these years. Give us the neutral stance, and this guy, you have to have his legs a specific way for him to like really stand forward and not have a creepy lean to him. Like right now, this is pretty much fine, but when I first got him out of the box, I didn't think he could even stand correctly because he would keep, you know, just like leaning back. But now I figure, you know, you gotta have the feet at least somewhat close together in order for him to stand up straight and not look fucking weird. I mean, now he's got that weird lean. You see, the whole predetermined stance legs things, I don't know why I keep doing it. Actually, you know, you. The whole predetermined stance thing, it really doesn't do anything for your figures, Playmates. It really just mars them from being able to be put into different poses. Like this seems so much more like Gigan. He's leaning forward, he's trumping forward, he's cocky, he's sadistic, and you can't really do that too much because he'll just, you know, kind of like go backwards. So Playmates, I am asking you, no, I am begging you, just do this. Neutral legs, bent, whatever you gotta do, just do that. Speaking of which, I do like the fact that you made your Gigan taller. Very nice. But yeah, I hate the predetermined legs. Can we please just get, you know, pre-posed, predetermined, whatever you want to call them. Can we just get neutral legs? But anyway, yeah, the legs go this far in, this far out. I don't want to push this thing because remember, it is made of hard plastic. This leg can go pretty far out. But you see, like, this would be so much nicer if it was just a neutral leg. You're going to get articulation in the tip of the tail over here. This is going to be a soft plastic, so it will bend. This doesn't count as articulation, but these sails are soft plastic, so they're not going to hurt too much, and, you know, all that. And, of course, you're going to be able to go back and forward this far with the two arms. Sometimes you get a weird clicky noise in there. Don't know what that's all about. Now, this has absolutely nothing to do with articulation, but I don't like this arm, man. Like, it can aid you in giving you some cool poses. Like, we get Final Wars Goji over here, and we got Gigan sneaking up behind him with the blade to the throat. It's like, okay, yeah, that's cool. But for the most part, this just looks kind of stupid to me. I don't like it. Now, some of you might be saying, well, Rob, it offers variety. And you know what? You're right. It does offer variety. But you know what else would have offered variety? A swivel at the base of the blade. Could have just as easily and then you would have been perfectly fine. I hate how awkward this arm looks. It just breaks everything up to such an extent. I don't like it. It looks like Gigan's using a freaking cane to walk. Like, I don't like that. I prefer the bent arm like this, and then if you had a swivel over here at the base, you could just turn that sideways, lift it up, and bing, bang, boom. It's just as good. This, I don't know. Maybe I'm being overly critical of this. I don't really understand why it was made like this. I don't like it either. I don't think the 8-inch Bandai figure was much like this, so this might have just been a new thing that Playmates decided to do. But I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it at all. Really. Okay. Speaking of not liking something, I don't like this. I don't like this! It's like, at that point, why even bother putting any kind of movement there? As I was saying before, this is something that I wish Playmates did the same way Bandai did it. Not put articulation at the neck, but at the throat, just put a little bit of a swivelier. Could have easily just broken this up and put a little swivel there. Gigan rocking the HR Giger spandex suit. The shoulders just stop this from moving any which way, and these are of a soft rubber plasticky, and as you can see here, there is a little bit of a loosening going on over here, so I'm a little afraid to touch that any further, but you know, one bad day, I'm just gonna grab this to turn the head, and that could come flying right off. That was a little over dramatic, but yeah, I don't like it. I don't like that lack of a neck swivel. And yeah, this is going to be soft plastic, still kind of sharp, but it's going to be the same kind of soft plastic as the horn up here, the mandibles, the horns over here, the sails. Going to be a little bit harder, not as soft as these. So there is that. Personally, I think this figure looks great. It's just, when it comes to articulation, it kind of sucks. It's better than Space Godzilla, I will say that. But I will say that Destroya is probably still the best Playmates Godzilla figure when it comes to articulation. Just look at General Death Crab over here. It can go all the way around at the neck. The wings can go up and down like so. It's got the second pair of wings over here. The arms can go all the way around. They're of soft rubber. The legs can go frontwards and backwards and shizzle. You got the tail articulation at the base, and you got it at the tip as well. You can move the ankles around. Just overall around a better articulated figure. I would say that. So let's get to ending this video off, shall we? The prodigal Playmates son, Final Wars Gigan, really is just that. The prodigal son, the saving grace. I would absolutely say that not only is this the best of the classics line, but this absolutely just dethrones all the GVK stuff as well, especially in terms of detail. Sure, the Playmates line really hasn't been all about the accurate paint jobs, but whatever was going on in the factory that day when this figure was made, it needs to happen again. And according to a recent interview as conducted by Toho Kingdom with Playmates, it's sounding like it might just happen again. There's a lot of exciting things coming out of Playmates within the coming months, and I definitely think you should check this interview out. It'll be linked in the description below. It is very revealing, and they reveal a lot of exciting little factoids about what they are going to be doing in the very near future. So would I recommend this Final Wars Gigan figure from Playmates? Absolutely. Is it perfect? Absolutely not. But I do enjoy it. It does a lot of really cool things that I like. It does things that even the Bandai version doesn't do. Flaws and all, best Playmates Godzilla figure? Abso-freaking-lutely. That's it. I know by this point, especially for return viewers over here, it's really not that much of a surprise to see that I have something positive to say about a Playmates figure. But when it comes to Playmates Final Wars Gigan, it seems that it's mostly a positively reviewed figure. And in all honesty, with those minimal flaws, I can understand why. And again, I strongly encourage all of you to check out the interview that Toho Kingdom conducted with Playmates. It's sounding promising. It really is. They reveal a lot of interesting things, a lot of things that I'm personally very excited for, and spring 2021 sounds like it's going to be a good old grand time. At least I hope so. And I know whether they're promising or not, I'll more than likely be talking about them on this channel. Anyway, ShinRobjira, hope you, the viewer, enjoyed. Patrons, thank you so much for subscribing to the ShinRobjira Patreon page. Social media, you can find links in the description below. And I will see you all sometime soon. Very soon. Actually, before I end this off, the reason why I have been releasing videos earlier than Fridays is because I'm trying to get the remainder of November's videos out, and I've been trying to get at least the first 2 to 3 weeks of December's videos out because I've got a crap ton of stuff coming in from the Godzilla store. Seriously. I've got Heavy Paint Kiryu, I've got the Meatloaf Shin Godzilla, the Y2K Godzilla is going to be coming out, I think, in a couple of days, and I'm going to be ordering that, and whatever else they just so happen to show off during the Godzilla Fest. I want to get all that stuff in, and I don't want to rush those reviews out. I actually want to take my time, have fun making those. So the reason why things are going up ahead of schedule is because of that. It is only going to be happening this month and December, because now I just realized that I have stuff coming in from HobbyLink Japan in December as well. Ho-ho! And I really don't want to delay any of the major reviews that I have set for December, one of which being Kaiju Raijin. But I gotta do what I gotta do. But anyway, ShinRobjira, I already said that. Hope you enjoyed. I already said that. I'll see you all next time. And it shouldn't be too long of a wait for the next video. I'm going to be starting today, actually. So, see you soon. Good night. Or good morning. Or good day. Or No!